Hi, I'm Renee, and prior to the limbic and nervous system dysfunction, I was a very active woman. My husband and I were actually missionaries, urban missionaries, and I was always trying to find a need and meet a need. So I was busy. One of the first things that happened for me was I fainted on an airplane, and that was really odd for me. But when I fainted on that plane, that kind of started putting some flags up, and doctors couldn't figure it out either at that time. And then my husband surprised me with the cruise, and as soon as I entered, my body crashed again. At this time, I felt like I had something just crawling through my whole body, and I had like a full system blowout. I don't know how to explain it. All the way down to the fingertips, just uncomfortable. It was hard to walk straight, and then pain, just odd pain. Breathing was difficult. My worst was when I was bedbound. I was able to get up to just cook my meal, use the bathroom, and I had to get right back to bed. I would say that was my worst because I couldn't count. I couldn't put sentences together. Conversations were very challenging, so I was not visiting people. I couldn't read very well at the time either. We had the meeting with this doctor, and he not only said I had the mold illness, but also said I had the limbic and nervous system dysfunction. Each time I logged on to the Gupta sessions that are available, I learned so much, and I was able to go deep quick. I don't know how to explain it. And I felt like I could totally trust Ashok, who is the leader of this, who created it, who did all the research. And if I didn't even have that experience, the proof is in the pudding of all of the research that he's done. All the scientific proof is there. And for me, it was a perfect match, that it was a no-brainer. I mentioned this respirator that I had to depend on when I was in the car. From 2 weeks starting the program, I have not had to wear this respirator. I've been in the program exactly a year now. I no longer am dependent on a respirator. So that to me is like one huge praise. And then the second thing I noticed, within 2 weeks also, I was getting deeper sleep. When I would sleep before, I was up like every hour, and then like waiting to fall asleep again. And this time I was getting solid sleep. I woke up, felt like I actually slept instead of I was at war. Another big was I always vet buildings before I go into them. Usually I make sure it's a building that does not have mold or water damage. But twice over the last couple months, I accidentally walked into a bank and a restaurant that they had water damage I wasn't aware of. And what was different was before I would have like danger signs in my mind. Danger, flee, run, get out. It's not good for you. You're going to pay for this. But this time there was no danger signs flashing. I didn't have this emotional swelling inside of my body of flee, run, get out of here. It was assess it. And so I assessed it like, yep, you're right. They've had water damage. Okay, you can finish this transaction at the bank and leave. Yes, it's still not great for me because I had a delayed reaction, but the instant reactions weren't there in my body. So that to me is huge, that the environmental stressors that used to be crazy for me are not as crazy. The way I look at life is different now. And I'm looking for the joy. And I have hope now, where before, yes, I was hopeful, but I was also I was accepting that I'm just living with this for the rest of my life. We're still working towards full recovery, but I see recovery with what I'm able to do with my grandkids. I'm not sitting around on a bed watching them be able to do stuff. I'm participating. I'm the one taking them, to play at a splash pad and have the energy to do that. I'm able to think of things of how we can play outside instead of, oh, grandma just needs to sit in a chair and watch you.